Hi, John.
Good afternoon, Ted. How are you?
I'm very good, John. Thank you very much for asking. John, we're with your 1932 Ford Roadster. And I was going to ask you a couple of questions about it for anyone who might be interested in the car. John, how long have you owned the car?
Ted, I've owned this car 18, going on 19 years now.
You've owned this 19 years. It looks brand new.
Well, it's only got 13,000 miles. I have had up to recently two other cars that took my attention away from this, so I didn't drive it all the time. But we have made some reasonably substantial trips. We've driven from here in Grants Pass, Oregon, all the way up to Vancouver and British Columbia and into Victoria.
Wow.
So it's a capable runner and driver to the extent that you find a Roadster comfortable and desirable to drive long distances.
How did you, what did you do with the top while you were traveling?
Typically, when we travel, we have the top on. The top is removable.
Yeah.
And the Roadster typically finds use in the nice weather and whatnot. And when spring rolls around, the top comes off and generally doesn't go back on until the season is winding down.
So this long trip up to BC, did you have the top on or off?
On. We had it on all the way.
Okay. So about the car, it's fiberglass. And what was the company that manufactured the top or the body?
The body is a Westcott, one of the well-known, better-known fiberglass body manufacturers.
Okay.
And while we're talking about it, I'll mention the chassis. The chassis and the body came as a package from Lobek, who is a pretty well-known car builder in the East. They're out of Ohio. I lived in Michigan at the time, so the chassis, I said, is all Lobek and is very well laid out and done.
It's got coilovers in the back.
Coilovers in the back, and in the rear is a Winter's quick change.
Really?
Which is a kind of a nice, desirable thing to have. And
The front axle?
is that's a Krager, I believe, as I recall.
Disc
The
brake.
wheels are disc brakes in the front. The wheels are Halabrand, the original Halabrands. You can't get them anymore, so they're kind of a nice, valuable piece on the car. They look really good on the car.
David Hamilton was in earlier today, and he was wondering if you would notice if you lifted the car up and removed the wheels and left it on blocks, because he really likes those wheels. He was thinking that was a good idea. The interior.
Tell Dave I don't think he'll pull that one off.
The interior was done by.
It was done by a company in Alabama called M&M. They're pretty well known, do really well on interiors, and the car originally came out of Alabama, so they did the interior.
And the motor? Can you tell me?
The motor is a short block, small block Chevy, excuse me. It's bored over. In it.
Is it a 383 or is it?
No, it's a 350.
Uh-huh.
Bored over, but it currently has just finished installing it. A month ago. We decided to upgrade the motor and got what Edelbrock, I think he calls it top end kit. So we got Edelbrock aluminum heads,
wow.
An intake manifold, cam lifters, push rods. I put roller rockers on at the same time, and so we fully in a MSD ignition system.
It's running a Holley carburetor?
And it's a Holley carburetor, correct?
Okay, great.
We had that going through right
How
here.
many miles do you think you have on the upper end?
100.
Wow. Okay, so it's good. And the transmission is a.
350 Chevy, automatic.
Did you have that rebuilt when you built the car? Or
We did. It was rebuilt recently because we had some issues with it, and it wasn't shifting quite properly. So we had that totally gone through. And
About how many miles on the transmission?
5, maybe 7,000 miles on the transmission.
I drove it to take pictures, and the motor, transmission, everything was wonderful.
It's pretty straightforward. It's a simple car, a Roadster. You know, it's designed to be a car that you like to drive and have fun with. You know, make no pretenses about cars that don't have any windows or anything. You know, they're fun to drive when the weather is nice, but they aren't air-conditioned comfort, so to speak.
The manufacturer, Lobek, was it?
Lobek was the.
Can you tell me more about him?
Barry Lobek was a well-known car builder from the East Coast, Cleveland, Ohio, as I said. He had a reputation for a certain look that the cars he built have, and this car does have it. You know, the small tires in the front, big in the rear, and a nice rake to it, but not radical. And he died a couple of years ago, but I think the company's still going on. But he was a well-known and well-respected builder of cars that had, I think they called it the Ohio look.
The Ohio look. Is there anything else about the car that someone interested in owning it would want to know?
Well, we've covered most of it.
It has a rumble seat in the back?
No, it's a conventional trunk in the back.
Okay.
The car comes with a few add-ons. It has a full cover for when you have the top up, and it has, I think they call it a bikini cover that just covers the interior compartment and whatnot when you're traveling with the top off. And
this is the original paint. Have you had the car painted since you built it?
No, this is the original paint from the building of the car.
How did it hold up so well?
Well, we take care of it. It's got 13,000 miles, and it's always been stored inside, you know, in heated garages. And
I mean, there's minimal signs of use anywhere, underneath and on top. I mean,
right. The underneath the chassis and the underside of the body is damn near as good looking as the top is.
Yeah.
You know, finished just as nicely.
You saw the pictures I took.
Yes, you did a good job there.
Well, thank you very much. I think we're going to bring this to an end because we've run out of time. I very much appreciate you coming by.
Ted, I'm glad to have contributed and help you in your endeavor to sell this device.
All right.